Tu Bishvat is not mentioned in the Bible at all. It first appears in the Mishnah, around 200 CE, not as a festival but simply as a date marking the calculation of tithes for fruit trees. Over the years, in the Jewish diaspora, poets composed hymns inspired by this day's songs that expressed longing and deep yearning for the land of Israel. Centuries later, with the rise of Kabbalah in 16th century Safed, Tu Bishvat gained new spiritual significance. It became an occasion for mystical reflection, marked by a special Seder in which fruits of the land were eaten, symbolizing different spiritual realms within humanity and the universe. The disciples of the Arizal, Rabbi Isaac Luria, in Safed established a unique prayer and study ritual for the night of Tu Bishvat, accompanied by the consumption of 30 different fruits and the drinking of red and white wine symbolizing the transition from winter to spring. The fruits were categorized into 3 types, each corresponding to a different stage of creation according to Kabbalistic thought. Before eating each fruit, relevant biblical verses, midrashic teachings, and parables were recited. This tradition was later documented in works such as Hemdat Yamim and Priyatz Hadar, spreading to Jewish communities worldwide. The Golan Heights is most well known for its wine and vineyards. In the 20th century, Tu Bishvat took on yet another layer of meaning, this time in the spirit of the Zionist movement. It was the Teachers' Union that designated the day as one for planting trees in schools despite agricultural logic and despite the Mishnah's ruling that Rosh Hashanah, the first of Tishrei, is the true new year for planting. In a symbolic gesture, the Knesset was inaugurated on Tu Bishvat in 1949, shortly after the establishment of the state. In recent decades, the holiday has taken on an even deeper significance as a day of environmental awareness. As humanity advances in industry, science, and technology, the natural world suffers grave consequences. At Leo Beck, our Tu Bishvat Seders incorporate the rich layers of meaning the holiday has gained over the centuries. We celebrate the fruits of the land while honoring our responsibility for environmental preservation. Each year, in addition to our community, Holocaust survivors, elderly individuals with special needs, and mothers and children from shelters join our youth-led Central Seder. Bridging spiritual realms and education. In the following reflections, I will try to connect the spiritual worlds founded by the sages of Safed to the educational journey of our young students. Fruits of the world of action. Fruits that require significant external protection have their outer shell discarded while their inner core is consumed, such as nuts and almonds. When eating these fruits, we reflect on the precious things in our lives that need protection. Similarly, in the early stages of education, we all have barriers, students, teachers, and parents alike. The sweet interior of the fruit is enclosed in a tough, unyielding shell, which can only be opened with patience and dialogue between adults and young people. Over time, trust is built, the protective shell is shed, and the journey toward higher spiritual realms begins within the school community. Fruits of the world of growth. Fruits that are edible on the outside can contain an inedible pit at their core, olives and dates. These fruits remind us of the creative force embedded in all of creation and the connection between the material and the spiritual. At this stage of education, students no longer require a rigid protective shell. They are free to engage in true creative exploration, to develop their talents, and to actualize their values. They still retain a thin layer of protection, but it no longer hinders their ability to flourish, standing tall like the date palm and growing strong like the cedar. Fruits of the world of creation. Entirely edible fruits remind us that everything in our world has purpose and value, grapes and figs. At this stage, students are deeply connected to their inner selves. They recognize their worth, understand their role in the world, and are no longer afraid of the light they bring into it. They realize that by sharing their light, they empower those around them to shine as well. They also no longer fear failure. On the contrary, they embrace it as a gift, an opportunity for growth, and understand that every challenge is a stepping stone for learning. The students form meaningful relationships, create new knowledge and, above all, take responsibility for shaping and improving the world. Tikkun Olam. Wishing a joyous Tu Bishvat to all, a celebration of growth, renewal, and the flourishing of the Jewish people. With prayers for the safe return of all our hostages, for the well-being of our soldiers, and for the health of the wounded in body and soul. The writer, a rabbi, is the managing director and headmaster of the Leo Beck Education Center.